Andrew Gaff had what can only be described as an extraordinary brain fade. Let's have a look at how the last 24 hours has played out.
There's a Docker down on the wing.
Probably Andrew Brayshaw.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's Gaff boys on the far side of the ground. So they came together.
Oh, wow.
Well, anyone that thought that he was going to be a Brownlow contender?
Good, this is broken draw territory.
I'm a little bit shocked, boys. We all are. I didn't think Andrew Gaff had that in him. Gaff digging deep. Oh, he was there and they got him.
You've got to get him off the ground. He's distraught. He's had his head in his hands, but he knows the fallout from this.
You know, Andrew's quite upset. Obviously, he's really thinking about Brayshaw and Brayshaw's family. He was in a bit of shock, I suppose, so just trying to put my arm around him a little bit.
Andrew Brayshaw was king here 100 metres off the ball. He's got a fractured jaw and 4 displaced teeth, and he'll be undergoing surgery tonight.
Yeah, I just want to apologise to Andy, and I feel sick. I feel sick about it and did the wrong thing, and a lot of things. It doesn't indicate my character and all that, but my main thought is how he is, and very remorseful, and I feel sick about it.
Yeah, a huge amount of emotion around what happened in that particular instance. Can we start with just maybe the amount of weeks that we think Andrew Gaff, we know he's going to get suspended, He's been referred straight to the tribunal. Brownie?
I'm thinking 6 to 7 weeks. Tom Bugg got 6 weeks. Callum Mills played the following week, had concussion, not a broken jaw. So I think 6 to 7, certainly his season's over.
Lower end 5, top end 7 for me.
Does anyone think that he actually meant it? He actually meant... He clearly didn't mean to hit him in the jaw.
I reckon he's trying to hit him in the chest.
The chest or the arm. So this is completely accidental. I know you want a number right now, but I think, has this been blown? I mean, people talking about king hits and he's deliberately gone out. They're speaking as if Gaff has deliberately punched this young kid in the jaw.
When you say it's completely accidental, Duck, the contact to the head you think's accidental?
Accidental? No.
The strike was intentional.
He tried to strike him, but clearly he wasn't trying to strike him in the head. We're talking about a player that has never been even reported
and
before.
He will suffer the consequences.
And he'll suffer the consequences. No one condones...
It's not a king hit.
No one condones the end result. But the way this has been blown into something that it actually isn't. We're talking about a young man that clearly has made a big mistake by doing the action in the first place. But I actually feel sorry, clearly, for Brayshaw, but I feel sorry for Gaff as well. The way this has been commented on all day, the last 24 hours, I think it's terrible. He'll cop his right whack, and I agree with you, BT. I think the lower end will probably be 5, which gives him a chance to play in the grand final if they got there, and the top end's probably 7.
The attack on his character is a load of nonsense. I mean, Dennis Cometti said over there at the time, if you lined all 44 players up, he'd be the 44th player that you would have thought capable of such a thing.
Yeah, a little bit disappointed. I love Ross Lyon. I'm one of his biggest fans. I love his press conferences. I'm disappointed in the way Ross handled that straight after the game. I know you're emotional and you're trying to defend your young player that you've got to the club, but I just thought he handled that poorly, in my opinion.
Sam, what was reported today was that Hamish Brayshaw, the other brother that plays at the West Coast Eagles, has been mentored, lived at the house of Andrew Gaff. Andy Brayshaw, Hamish Brayshaw and Andrew Gaff played golf 3 days before the incident. Clearly there's an enormous amount of respect between the families. This is a horrible accident. I agree with the boys, it'll be in that vicinity 5 to 7 weeks, and he deserves every one of them. But I agree with Doug. I think the character assassination is over the top, and I feel for him as well.
When you say character assassination, anyone specifically, Das, or you're just talking about...
I just think...
Holistically,
it has been, king hit. There's been talks about this being a criminal issue.
Dog act.
Links to all that. I mean, that's just a massive leap to take. Young man's made a horrendous mistake. I think it'll cost him the rest of his season. I think it should cost him the rest of it. No problems with that. But you make a mistake.
It is another timely lesson to us, and we see it week in, week out. The players have worked out already that these gut punches, Brownie, they're getting a week for. Most certainly, maybe even 2 weeks if it's got enough force behind it. So they're now no longer hitting players in the stomach now. They're trying to hit them in the arms and in the chest and thinking they can get away with that to show some physicality. So it's another great example of just stop doing it. It doesn't serve any purpose. You're not, the only thing that can happen is you can make a mistake and something like this happen.
Have we seen him play his last game for the West Coast Eagles?
Well,
very possible.
Well, you mean completely?
Yep.
Yes,
if he leaves the club.
He's looking to leave the club.
He's got a 7-year offer on the table from North Melbourne, and he's got a 6-year offer to stay. Terry Wallace made the point today that in a 2-team town, to stay there for the rest of his career would be quite difficult, not just playing, but going out, whether he's going to a pub or going out for dinner. You guys have all played at the highest level for a long time. Is there something in that? Was he more likely, do you think, to leave West Coast now because of this incident?
He might think he owes them.
No, that's the other side of the argument.
And by the way, he doesn't. He's been a fabulous player. He'll be an All-Australian wingman this year.
Incident aside, I think he stays for me.
Can they win the flag without him, Dars?
He's going to be sorely missed. He has been unbelievable this year, and those sort of players are hard to replace. In fact, no one plays the game quite like he does as a pure wingman for mine. So, look, it doesn't help their chances, Sam. I think it sets them back a lot.